Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hello, loungers. Welcome to J is for Justice. Happy Saturday night. Doing a Saturday night stream for y'all. Do not adjust your sets. This is live. I'm glad that there's some people here that don't normally catch the lives that are able to catch this one. We've had some storms rolling through as well, Jason. Hello, Jammers. Hello, One-Eyed Flo, Punani. Got that good Punani? How are you guys doing? Peaky. Hello, Mike Sanner. How are you guys doing this Saturday night? I figured we could chit-chat a little bit. We've got Bella down here on the doggy camera for you guys. We're going to talk about Bryan Kohberger, and I'm going to take some of your calls. Hopefully, some of you guys will want to sound off on the latest in the Kohberger case. I know I'm reading a lot of comments on the videos that I've put out, and it cracks me up. The people that don't trust the FBI, the people that don't trust law enforcement, I want to hear from you. I want to know why. I want to know why you think that when all eyes were on them, especially in a high-profile case like this, why do you think that they would cover it up? Why do you think they'd want to frame Bryan Kohberger? Like, who's Bryan Kohberger to them to want to frame him? No one knew who he was. He was like nobody. So the phone number is actually in the scroller at the bottom, 727-755-6001. Feel free to call in whenever. Don't feel like you're interrupting. I'm just going to be talking about this article I found from Inside Edition. And it says that Donna, now I'm probably going to hack her name, Donna Yazwiak tells the Idaho Statesman, which, by the way, I saw another article earlier that an ex-Idaho statesman reporter was accused of having child porn. Yeah, you heard me, Judge. Right. He doesn't work there anymore, by the way. But he did. Anyways, she tells the Idaho Statesman, and we'll find out who Donna is in a second, that the 28-year-old PhD student transitioned to online learning after spending his sophomore and junior years in a tech program. Bryan Kohberger did not attend classes at his Pennsylvania high school during his senior year and instead earned his diploma through an online course, according to his former guidance counselor. Oops, Donna should probably not be talking about Kohberger's school records. That's probably a no-no, don't you think? One-Eyed Flo just gifted, and Frag became a member. Welcome, Frag, and thank you, One-Eyed Flo. We've got a new lounger. Those are the drunk turkeys, by the way. We've got a soundbite of the drunk turkeys cheering the new members on. How about that? Just kidding. That's not really them, but it could be. Amica. You know what, Jammers? I get the Amica face a lot. I need to work on that. A lot of people need to work on resting bitch face. I need to work on my resting Amica face. Oh, Bonnie says that her dog always barks at my doggy cam and that she thinks Bryan is guilty of all the cops can't be dodgy. And it's Elaine. It's Elaine from Yorkshire. Punani just gifted 5. We get 5 drunk turkey.
So is that a joint?
Holy shit, we have new members. We have Caterbug, Crazy Crafter, Pink Tambourine, Little Kaza, and Lori Grant. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for Punani. Punani, we got to play Punani's song now. Resting Amaka face. RAF. Can we throw some Amaka emojis in the chat? Members, you have access to members only emojis. Welcome all the new members. You guys use your emojis and all that good stuff. Punani, you're so nice and generous. Come on, guys. 727-755-6001. Don't be afraid. Call in. Let's talk. About anything. It doesn't have to be about this. But we're going to continue. Let's go. Thank you so much, guys. So Donna probably shouldn't have maybe talked about Kohberger's student records. Those are probably private. But anyways, she did. And she told the Idaho Statesman that administrators would not say whether Kohberger or the administrators made the decision to remove him from the in-person learning. So we don't know. But we do know that he spent his senior year at home. So I wonder if there's more about this kid that we don't know. I mean, we don't know from this if he was a problem, if he was the problem, or, what the deal was. But was school that bad for him that he stayed home with his mom? Or was his mom even there? He was a senior. So when did he start doing drugs? That's another thing that's perplexing to me. He's not a fall guy. Stop. This isn't a Hollywood movie. That's another thing that's perplexing to me is Bryan Kohberger's heroin use. One just isn't a teenager and just picks up heroin. What happened? What made him, hey, Leslie, what made him start doing heroin? Did he have an injury? Was he started on opioids? That happens a lot. We hear about that a lot. It starts with a simple injury. Could even be a broken arm. I just don't know why he would start heroin. I mean, it's such a major drug, for some kid that just lives in the Poconos with his normal parents and his normal sisters. It's just, there's more to his story, I think, that we don't know. And I think when we find out more of his background, maybe more, will make sense, so to speak. The number to call in is 727 755-6001. Call in right now. I'm feeling like my line's broken, and I know it's not broken. So don't be afraid. We've got 102 of you. I know you guys can pick up that horn and call. Oh, let's get my little GIF I made up here. I almost forgot about him. Oops. Oh, whoops. Everybody does that. All right. There's the J is for Justice telephone. 727-755-6001. Call in. Say hi. Say fuck you. Say I hate your podcast. Say I hate your intros. Say anything you want. Say I love your podcast. You rock. No, I'm just kidding. 727 755-6001 is the hotline. So Tanya Carmela Beer, a former technical school administrator who oversaw student discipline and mental health, said she met with Kohberger in her official capacity prior to this transition. So even Tanya Carmela Beer, because she doesn't work there anymore, she was the administrator of the tech school where he went in his sophomore and junior years. Listen to that again. He went to tech school, sophomore and junior year. Then he transitioned to online school from home. And the administrator who oversaw discipline and mental health met with him before he transitioned. She couldn't say why he left the program, but said that a student could choose to leave or could be asked to leave due to disciplinary actions. She said sometimes, depending on the disciplinary offense and any issues surrounding it, it may not be the student's choice to be removed from the program, particularly a program that might have many rules and regulations in place. In general, a student can be very strong academically and perform very well in clinical work, but one or more infractions would take the opportunity to participate in that program away. Kind of mirrors what happened in Pullman, right? We just talked about this the other day where W.S.U. made him sign something when he was in jail. That if he came back to that campus, he would be criminally charged. Like, don't you dare think about stepping foot here. That's insanity. Oh, I should put it on there. That's a good idea, Mike. I will. I'll do that for the next time. No, it's supposed to be ringing, Mark Klein. Call the motherfucker. He says the phone's cold. Yeah, it is cold because no one's calling in. Why does no one? I listen to these call-in shows on YouTube and I'm like, these people have a lot to say. They want to sound off. But here we go live. Saturday night, chilling, and my phone is dead. I know, you love my little red phone. I do need to put the number on it. You're right, Mike. That would be great. 727-755-6001. So this sounds a lot to me like the same thing that happened to him. A student is strong academically and can perform in clinical work, but having other infractions. Call me, Prep. I haven't talked to you in forever. Kohberger enrolled in the law enforcement program at the district's tech school during his sophomore year, then switched to HVAC. Oh, shit. Dude, this guy has had so many setbacks. Oh, we've got a caller. Coming in hot. Hello, you are live. I'm good. How are you? Now everybody's calling in at once. Who is this? Hello, Georgie. Hello, Georgine. What you got on your mind? Mm-hmm.
So is that a joint? Or is it a cigar?
Ooh, nice. Wait, I think I have your audio off. Can you say that last part again? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. So his alibi, I said, is due on Monday, the 24th. And if he actually confessed to his lawyer, then he cannot produce an alibi because she would be perjuring herself. So I found that very interesting.
It is interesting. And you know what else is interesting is if you have an alibi, why wouldn't you give it? Why would you wait? I mean, I know they got to get it together, right? It's not just, he can't just say, hey, I was here. They have to like back it up. But it just seems like everything's being pushed to the envelope.
Yeah, it just seems like, oh, let's see what the prosecution does, then we'll come up with an alibi based on that. I mean, because if I was innocent of this, I'd be screaming from the top of my lungs that I'm innocent. I'd be in every shape of way constantly saying I'm innocent. I would never say the words I will be exonerated if that's what he said. I would say I'm innocent. I didn't do this crime. And I will prove to you that I didn't because I will tell you where I am. And people are saying on other channels I have seen that, I don't remember what I did yesterday. True, I don't either. But everybody knows what they did that lived in that surrounding area when it came to the murders because it's something, shocking. And you always know what happened at that time because you think to yourself, oh my gosh, that was 4 a.m. I was blah, blah, blah. Plus that he was in the area twice. I mean, well, so many times, right? And then the following morning. So he can't come up with the excuse, in my opinion, that he just doesn't remember that night.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of circumstantial stuff that adds up and paints a picture like just from what we know. And I think there's a lot more that we don't know.
Oh, I believe, if they're going after the death penalty, they have substantial evidence that we just are unaware of, right? And the defense chief is trying to poke holes and trying to get him out that way, like on a technicality. That's just what she's trying to do. And I do think that's just so interesting with the original fact that I said that if he did confess, which from what I understand, most defense attorneys will go in and say, I don't want to know. You don't tell me whether you're guilty or
Yeah, I've always wondered about that. Like, that's interesting to know because I have wondered that. Like, can you confide in your lawyer and go, hey, look, lady, I did this shit, but I need to get out of this now. So help me.
Yeah,
right.
Their hands are much more tied. It's much trickier for them because they can't perjure themselves and they can't defend him the way they would. So most of the time they just say, do not tell me. Do not tell me a thing. Just don't tell me if you did or didn't. My job is to get you out.
Right. Like I'll ask you
just
questions.
Answer the questions that I ask.
Yeah.
Right. Just answer these questions. Right.
And I think that's the big thing too, is that a lot of defendants, they just want to, it's like word salad. They just go on and on and on,
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But that's all. I don't want to take anybody else's time. So,
well,
thank you for taking my call.
Hey, I appreciate you being the first caller of the night.
So exciting. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Sure. Bye.
Bye. That was Georgine. Georgine, I think we had a couple missed callers. Go ahead and call back in. Lines are open now. Looking Beyond says, no drunk calling, please. Yeah, it was Georgine, Fuzzy Fuzzball. And when you said that was Bella, yeah, my dog Bella is right here. That's Bella. Sleeping. I don't think he has an alibi. If he does, I just don't think he does. I just don't know why you'd sit there and wait. While we wait for more calls to come in. 727-755-6001. Ring that line. So here it says that he was involved in the law enforcement program in his sophomore year and then switched to HVAC like daddy his junior year. The law enforcement program trained students to be a police officer, firefighter, or EMT, but barred certain behaviors, said Carmela Beer. It is unclear if Kohberger chose to leave the law enforcement program or was asked to leave. Yozwiak said that Kohberger was a good student with parents who took an active interest in his education and both worked for the school district at times. His mother had been a teacher's aide and his father a maintenance worker. I recall no problems. He was a regular kid, and thankfully his parents were involved in his education. I don't recall anything out of the ordinary. Kohberger's friends from that time said that the close of his high school career and the years that followed were marked by a marijuana habit graduating into heroin addiction. And that's when he began the intense workout. Weird. Casey Arndt says, honestly, I feel like he was looking for validation. That's why he fell into that crowd. And honestly, it's why he fell into the whole drug scene. So maybe that was where he finally felt like, thanks for putting that in chat, Jammers. That's cute. The little red phone, 727-755-6001. But maybe that was the only time he felt accepted. I do remember the HVAC repairman at the house, Meg P. We never found out why they were there. So if he knew about HVAC, did he fuck with something else? Do you want to know a theory I have? Tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you think about this. What if, like, this guy educated himself? He obviously likes learning, right? He likes learning because he wants to be the smartest. What if this guy was educated, we know, in digital forensics with school, with the criminal justice school? Now we find out that he was trained for a year in HVAC. So if I mix HVAC with digital shiz, we know that he was accused of breaking into a colleague's home or apartment and moving things around and then being the hero and setting up cameras for her. You guys have heard this story, right? We're going to be going over it in a future live. But this is the information that has been put out there. So if I'm thinking about a Reddit user named Inside Looking and Outside Looking, who were both posting on Reddit at the same time, things about the murders, it was creepy, and they got removed. Just like Papa Rogers got removed after the arrest. Do you think that he could have done something, wired things in that house? I just think that he's a voyeur. I feel like there's going to be a lot of footage because if he wasn't watching the Idaho 4 house, he was watching that girl, the colleague, you know, the ones that kept the Bryan tallies. But why would HVAC be at that house so soon after the murders? HVAC. Or did agents go in undercover? Did investigators go in undercover as HVAC? I don't know. It's weird. Why would they call HVAC there? I mean, I'm not trying to be weird, but they were there. I don't remember what date, but it was very early on. And we were like, why would they have HVAC there? And then somebody said maybe there was like blood in the you know, maybe they had to get, not blood, but, you know, maybe there was evidence in the vents and they needed someone to take the shit apart. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe they get evidence, you know, they have those cleaned out and they need those HVAC guys there to take things apart that know how those things go together. Maybe he hid stuff in the ducts, says John. Maybe. I just thought it was weird. Or cameras. But what is HVAC going to do about the smell, Baby D? That's my question. Like, why? Proving spooky. Do you remember the cinder block underneath the window? Also, on CM's channel, the profilers predicted he was probably a voyeur. I think so, too. And I do think that he was inside looking and outside looking. And I think that he started outside looking and somehow made his way inside looking. Because I'm not going to lie, when I found that thing of photos of all the students, they're not going to clean air ducts, though. That it was still a preserved crime scene. They're not going to clean the ducts. Like, if anything, they're going to, like, take them apart. Hi, Amir. He had to have been inside. He knew where to go. I'm not going to lie. Some of those photos that I found, they look like they're taken from a weird POV, point of view. They look like some of them were taken without the person's knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, just the perspective of it. It's weird. It's almost like someone was in, like, their device or something. Because these aren't pictures that you would necessarily put on social media. Here, I'll show you one of them. This is just an example. You know what? This is weird. This one is named. This is Kaylee, okay? This was on that 4chan page. Okay, so let me give you a little background. When we were live one day, I was just searching up Josco73. Remember Josco? Well, Josco from TikTok, I looked him up and then I found this 4chan archive and it had some photos in it. Some are not appropriate, but this one here is named hashtag, hold on, I don't want to get it wrong, hashtag draft TikTok.jpg. How would anyone get her TikTok drafts? Do you know what I mean? Like, it says TikTok on it. So I don't know if it was posted. I'm not sure. They just, some of them look weird. Here's another one. Here, let me find that one. And these may have been posted. I'm not sure. Like this one here. Like it says TikTok, so maybe it's a screen grab or something. I don't know. But the hashtag draft one, that's like the name of the file. But for these to be in an archive, like, I don't know. It was in an archive and it wasn't with like normal archives. You know what I mean?
You don't hold account.
Not normal archives, but it wasn't the normal pictures that we all saw in the media. It was all photos that we'd never seen. And I guess that was what was so kind of uber creepy about it, is that it was ones that weren't in the mainstream media. So it's like, where did they come from? Like this one here. Did you guys ever see this? Of Ethan and Xana? I never saw that. It's like someone got their files or something. Yeah, I don't know how they got a draft. That stumped me on that one. But like, have you guys ever seen this? It's a very, very weird, rare, like a rare collection of photos. It just kind of tripped me out. And then let me see if there's any other ones that stand out to me. God, I have so many. Oh, like Dylan. Okay, there's these pictures of Dylan. Like, where are they getting these photos of her? This was in there. And I was like, what? Amaka? Like, we've never seen these. But these were somehow compiled by somebody. Who? Here's another one of Dylan. I mean, let me know if you guys have seen these. Call in 727-755-6001. Where do you think that this collection of photos came from? What do you think of this case? What do you think of my Amaka face? Vince, call in 727-755-6001. Have you guys ever seen these photos, though? Here's another one. This is, I don't know, Kaylee and someone. I don't know who took that picture. Like, where would that come from? Let me know in chat if you guys have seen these. How about this one? Who's the Super Spideys? This must have been Halloween. Like, it's just a weird, it's a really weird collection. I think it was Jammers that said that. Here's another one of Dylan. They have a lot of Dylan. I don't know why. Maybe it was easier to find hers. This? Have you guys seen that? It came from 4chan. They're just really weird. I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Unspoken hearts, kids having fun. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying, hey, Nomad. It's just it was a really weird archive of photos I've never seen before. So they were in like an entire, it was like this, I don't even know how I found it. I Googled Josco73, but it like brought up this page, and it was because their 4chan had gotten shut down. And so this person or persons took all of their links and put them in one page. Fozzie, why are you keeping tabs on me? Aren't you the one that commented earlier on my last episode and said that I was using someone else's material? Isn't that you, Fozzie? I thought it was. Maybe not. I'm not talking about any phases. I'm talking about why do people have these photos of these people in an archive? It's weird. And it, like I said, it's not photos that were like put out in the media and that's why they have them. They could have grabbed them from a Facebook, but I don't know how many kids this age use Facebook that much. I know my kids don't. Let me see if there's any more that. Okay, here's another one of Dylan that was in there. I mean, I don't know where these are coming from. Oh, I thought that was you, Foz. Sorry. I'm glad it wasn't you. Dylan near a gas pump looks strange. I think it's supposed to be like country. No, we've just been chit-chatting, Nomad. I've only been live for, I don't know how long now. I don't know if they're stalker photos. I'm trying to figure out if anybody's ever seen these because they were in an archive, a 4chan archive. Look at this one of Bethany and Murphy. Like, how did someone on 4chan get all these? Look at Murphy. And I don't know when that was taken. Hey, Miss Nightbot. Oh, I know the dog's adorable. You guys can call in. The number is 727-755-6001. Let me know your thoughts. It is so quiet at my house. Bonjour Nancy says that she's too shy to call, but love what you do. Thank you for your $4.99 super chat, Nancy. Thank you. Can't stop addicted to the shindig. People on that website are sus. They probably hacked something. Yeah, probably. It's just creepy. All right, here's another one. I'll share one more. This is, I don't know who. Looks like Dylan and Bethany. And then some other girls that I don't know who they are. So it's like there's people in these photos that aren't even involved, which is so weird. The Bethany and Murphy one was in someone's YouTube video. No, there's a lot more, Mike, that don't look posed. I just don't know if I should show them. Hold on. Get info. I guess this one looks like someone's taken a picture, but there's Dylan and I don't know who. I think that's the infamous picture of Dylan that everyone shares. Yeah, exactly, Jammers. The ones that don't look like they were taken straight away, straight on. It just kind of creeps. Let's see. And there's just pictures of people in here that don't, and I'm not going to show them because they don't have anything to do with this. It's just weird to me. Creepy. But back to, here's another one of Bethany that was in there. Back to, Kohberger. I mean, I want Dylan to have better posture. But back to Kohberger and, this school thing. And the cameras and inside and outside looking. Do you guys think that he was inside and outside looking? Dylan is super tall. What's up, Pat Gordon? I mean, like, who else on Reddit? I know that, like, who was it? I think it was when I had Daniel on. He said, oh, I don't think those names were him. That, people could just, say things and they end up being, close to what it really was. Or, but who's going to sit there and know the details about these murders before they were even released and use the names inside and outside looking. I just wouldn't be surprised if we find out that there's cameras. Because Nancy Grace reported it, that I was going to do a live stream on that. I had like clips. I don't know if I have them on this computer, but she was saying that, and she also said, oh, like, did they respond to Bryan Kohberger's emails? And then she goes, or did they just go in their spam? And I was like, how is she so sure that he emailed them? Because she was like, yeah, I want to know if you know, if they responded or if they just went in their spam. No, I never said he was sharing. Oh, but maybe he was sharing a stream. Oh, shoot. Where are his hands? Oh, we got to go to the boob tube. This is just for jammers right here. We had to come over. I just need to remind you guys about something. Kohberger's hands. Yeah, Nancy said it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if we can find it on YouTube. It would be Nancy Grace Kohberger. I think it was about him being a stalker. So I think that might make it come up. Yes. Okay, so she talked about Is this it? Here, listen to this one.
Bryan
Kohberger.
The man accused in the murders of 4 beautiful University of Idaho students. In the last hours, we learned that the search warrants executed. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm saying what motivated him to.
This right here. Okay, listen to this.
Looking for activity on multiple social media platforms, including TikTok, Google, and Tinder. Did Bryan Kohberger identify at least one of his murder victims as long ago as 2021? Now, what does that mean? We know that he left DePaul University, where he had gotten his master's degree in criminal studies.
DeSales.
And he traveled to Washington State University after getting accepted there in the PhD program in the same field, criminal justice.
I don't think that's the right one. Right here, right here, right here. But that's the long run. Where's her short? She also confirms that they testified in front of the grand jury as well. Remember, ABC said that? Well, Nancy Grace confirms it as well.
Bryan Kohberger. I will never forget that name. Today is the day Bryan Kohberger is set to be arraigned, which sounds technical. It's not. Cold Case Foundation.
I don't have it offhand. Sorry. Stage break-in. Is this it?
With me, Chris McDonough, director of the Cold Case Foundation. This woman
I'll tell you,
has a killer
I'm going there.
stalking her.
Here we go.
and
This is it right here.
And the individuals, obviously, that, we have all associated with in your career, my career.
How can you be so calm? What is wrong with you,
Well,
man? This woman
well, I'll tell you,
has
I'm
a killer
going there.
stalking her
I'm going
and
there.
getting in her apartment and installing her security camera. This is right.
Yeah.
He's obviously progressing. It's a step in the progression up to murders. She's lucky to be alive, man.
Yeah,
Tell him,
I'm
Nancy.
tracking you 1,000%. And where I'm going here is this is really the pace that he was going at, the way I'm projecting.
One is of the twins in their strollers.
Oh my God.
Of those.
Come on, Nancy.
To the
Tell us about the Kohberger.
And she goes, with about 300 homicides investigated to his credit. He's the host of
Come on.
Manipulated a female colleague.
Here we go, right here. Found it. Thank
The
you.
murders of 4 beautiful University Idaho students.
Listen to this part.
This perv, and I don't think I'm going out on a limb saying that,
She called him a perv.
manipulated a female colleague into asking him, Bryan Kohberger, of all people, Bryan Kohberger, to install video surveillance in her apartment. And he did, the big hero. And Chris McDonough, we believe, according to these allegations, that he broke into the woman's apartment, her home, moved things around, and scared her. And she goes to work the next day, where he was at WSU, Washington State University, getting his PhD and a teaching assistant. She tells him, oh my stars, somebody has been in my apartment. There's no doubt in my mind. This was moved, that was in the wrong place, blah, blah, blah. We don't know exactly what was moved. It could have been a chair. It could have been a sofa. It could have been an ashtray. It could have been a trophy or a picture. I mean, I have this particular picture right beside my bed, 2 pictures. One is of the twins in their strollers, their double stroller, taken when they were babies on a street in New York. The other one is down at my church, my Methodist church in Macon, where I grew up, with my mother, my father, my husband. and the
Okay,
twins.
Nancy, we get it.
That's beside my bed. Now, if I suddenly saw one of those in the
Moved.
kitchen, I would know something was amiss.
That'd be
So,
scary.
From what the allegations are, Chris McDonough, the woman comes home and she goes, what?
The fuck?
As he predicted, she came to work and told him about it, where he, the hero, the savior, offers to install security cams. You take it from there, McDonough. I can't wait to hear this. Hit me.
You know, Nancy, what a fascinating, delve into the potential
Now let's listen to this part.
part of the buildup.
Look at her face. She's thinking about Bryan, and she brings up the suitcase. Remember the suitcase and the undie girl with the undies in the cup holder?
Watching her normal behavior, like in the kitchen, maybe walking around in her underwear or PJs for sexual purposes.
Yep. That's all part of the buildup. And
at her
there are
face.
devices out there, Nancy, that are available on the marketplace. They're called sniffers. And
Sniffers.
what that device does is it captures all of the open networks within a geographic region.
What?
Okay. And so as a result of that, if with his technology background, for him to go and set up a camera system and get into it, that is a behavior that is somewhat, very diabolical and planning, ahead.
Hey, there's
Right.
another aspect to this, but I'm just a trial lawyer. I think we need to shrink on this. But the planning
The planning.
I mean, who has time? Like, if somebody said, listen, I want you to break into your neighbor's place and move their stuff around just enough to make them realize somebody's been in there, then sneak out undetected, and then somehow manipulate them into asking you to set up their security camera, and then setting it up so all of this so you can watch them, change clothes, go to the bathroom.
Like, what the fuck is this? And everybody's like, what the fuck is this?
Cook dinner. You watch them while they watch TV. What does this guy do all the time?
Well, and then apply for a position at the police department to teach the cops
about people like himself.
Oh my God. She cracks me up. Hello, Tim. Thank you for being a new subscriber here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It is an awesome way to get your favorite creators noticed on the tubes. A sniffer. Yep, a sniffer. And the next segment is about other unusual activity. How do you know she didn't call the police and report it? She was probably one of the people that went to the higher ups at WSU and had him talked to and put on a plan because he was a creep burger.
0 to 100 mph in a matter of months.
Yeah, that progression that you're talking about, right, is he is living this fantasy, because remember, everything that happens potentially with these guys.
Yes, Revenge of the Nerds.
Based, if it's has an undertone of a sexual assault type of challenge, and so everything, the build up to get to this point, and then ultimately the rage, okay, is what we're seeing. We call that pre-incident behavior. Right, from a criminal behavior analysis aspect. So he's building, and he's looking for his victimology. Absolutely, and
Here's
I
about
can assure
digital
you
evidence.
That digital treasure trove will be front and center in this trial.
I bet he could even do it from his cell phone.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I know he can. Yeah. I mean, meaning I've been involved in enough cases, I've seen it. And there's going to be a whole, it's not going to surprise me one bit when the FBI testifies at some point, and I'm sure they already testified in the grand jury. When they come to the stand and the public hears, hey, we have A, B, C, and D, which brings us back to the house. Remember, Nancy, his apartment, when the defense went over there, what was the first thing they grabbed?
Smart TV.
The TV, exactly.
And what do you read into that, Chris McDonough? I'm really interested in your theory.
Well, I read into it that it was important enough to tell his defense investigators, probably through his attorney, can you guys go pick up my TV at the house? Now, we can hope that obviously, and I'm sure they did, they stuck a stick into it and downloaded everything into that stick, and that's sitting at the lab right now being processed.
But what do you anticipate being
on the smart TV?
From
yeah,
the smart TV.
What can you get from a smart TV?
Well, maybe that's his window into hell, i.e., the girl's apartment that he set up the surveillance cameras on. Mm-hmm. So this is his, maybe that's the device that he, it was the biggest thing in the room. So for him, it's like, I've got to be part of this. I got to get into that room. So it's much more exciting for these types of personalities to use a big screen TV versus a laptop
or a phone.
Because remember, they want to be, they want to be there. They want to be a part of it.
So you could conceive a scenario where he's just sitting at home, like having dinner with her surveillance cam up on the big screen.
Total control. As Dr. Picotto says, he is controlling them without their realization.
Wow.
The same way he manipulated the female colleague into asking him for her help.
So do we think that it's a possibility that he put cameras in 1122 King Road? Yeah, watching on TV, like how we put YouTube up on the TV. Speaking of which, I just want to take a moment right now and thank my moderators who are so wonderful, getting my information up there and spreading the word for me. I want to thank you guys. And all of the new members, I want to thank y'all as well. You guys are really, really, really important to me and the growth of this channel. So thank you for being here, and thank you for gifting memberships tonight, guys. I have something else too that I wanted to share about the T-Rev call. Well, not share, but I wanted to ask you guys. Let's do a poll, because I'm not a viewer like you guys. And if you have anything you want to say, you can call in. My number's open tonight. The mods are putting the number in the chat. So go ahead and call in if you want to be seen and heard. I'm not seeing everything on the screen here, or everything in chat. But do you guys think that that was Bryan Kohberger that called into T-Rev's show? I don't know where everybody stands. There's been so much. Was that Bryan that called into T-Rev asking about frat guys saying they'd kill someone? Is that been debunked?
You're awesome.
I'm just going to get your opinion, because you guys watch everything. I don't. If he installed cameras, then why drive around until all the lights are out? Well, just because he had cameras, he still doesn't have control over when they go to bed, right? So even though he might be watching via camera, he would drive around until they went to bed. Hey, Combat Vet. Hey, Allison. Yeah, so was that ever debunked? I'm just curious what you guys think. So it's even. Damn. 33% say yes, it was. 33% say no. And 33% say I don't know. Elaine from Yorkshire thinks that cameras were in the house all the time. Tim says, I thought someone came forward and said it was him and not BK. See, I don't know. I was wondering about that. Inquiring minds wanted to know. I was going to do a live and compare all of the Kohberger voices, but I didn't know if it had already been debunked that it was or wasn't him. I definitely don't want to implicate someone if it's not. You guys want to hear the call? All right. The call is creepy. Here, let me do this for a second. Let me do this for just one hot minute. Just one hot minute. And guys, we are at 88,697 subscribers. We are aiming for 90 for our mini goal. When we get to 90, you guys get to tell me what you want me to do to celebrate. And then we are only on the cusp of 100,000 subscribers. We are going to get there, and I want to get there before the end of the year. And with your help, I can. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. I won't let you down, I promise. At least not on purpose. Okay, here is... Oh, I had the Nancy thing about Kohberger and cameras. Here, hold up. Here's my clip. Let's see if it's any different.
Bryan Kohberger looking.
Yeah, we'll save that for another time. That's the same clip we just watched, pretty much. Now, this one... Listen to this.
Hi, my name is Bryan. Would you be able to give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
Now I'm going legal.
If you were gonna kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
Fuck with us.
Someone had stopped. I wasn't sure what they were doing. Then they put on their light to turn. So I thought that maybe they were letting me go through.
Oh.
Did you see that?
No.
She's like, no, I didn't see shit, dude.
And I'll watch those kind of things, but like when someone like in person says some stuff like that, it's kind of like jarring.
No.
Always the same thing that disrupts my life. Wonder when I'll change. I guess when the time is right.
Took that question.
There we go.
That idea and like took it too far. Like, oh, I'm gonna prove to these guys that
I'm in the club
or whatever.
Oh my god, I fucking edited this thing so I know all these words. But here, I got the video up now. This is supposed to be a trailer. I was gonna do it tomorrow night. You guys put a 1 in chat if you want me to do this tomorrow night. Put a 2 in chat if it's a waste of frickin' time. Here you go.
Hi, my name is Bryan. Would you be able to give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
Now I'm going legal.
If you were gonna kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
Someone had stopped. I wasn't sure what they were doing. Then they put on their light to turn. So I thought that maybe they were letting me go through.
Oh.
Did you see that?
No.
She's like, fuck no. You little putz.
And I'll watch those kind of things, but like when someone like in person says some stuff like that, it's kind of like jarring.
No.
Always the same thing that disrupts my life. Wonder when I'll change. I guess when the time is right.
Took that question and that idea and like took it too far. Like, oh, I'm gonna prove to these guys that
you don't hold account
I'm in the club
or whatever. We have actually more voices than I thought. So we have the traffic stop in Pullman. We have him in court saying yes and no. We have the rap. So get this, you guys, as a special treat, I had my son remove the music from his rap. So we have it without the stupid music in it, and you can actually hear him better. And that's what that clip is from. Oh, Elaine from Yorkshire wants to know if there was a pedo living at 1122 King in the 90s. I have no idea. What am I making you think about, Jammers? You guys want to do this tomorrow?
Hi, my name is Bryan. Would you
Oh,
be
yeah,
able
the
to
voicemail.
give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
Now I'm going legal.
If you were gonna kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
Someone had stopped. I wasn't sure what they were doing. Then they put on their light to turn. So I thought that maybe they were letting me go through.
No.
Oh.
Did you see that?
No.
I'm so glad she said that. No.
And I'll watch those kind of things, but like when someone like in person says some stuff like that, it's kind of like jarring.
No.
Always the same thing that disrupts my life. Wonder when I'll change. I guess when the time is right.
Took that question and that idea and like took it too far. Like, oh, I'm gonna prove to these guys that I'm in the club or whatever.
You guys want to examine the voices tomorrow? Tim Bray. He's so creepy. He has a very similar voice to my stepbrother, and there's almost a little twang. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that was... I think the T-Rev calls are really creepy. I think what the guy talked about is weird. So we will do this tomorrow, you guys. What time you want to do it? 7 p.m. tomorrow? Oops.
Hi, my name is Bryan. Would you be able to give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
Now I'm
Okay.
going legal.
Do you guys... now I'm going regal. Running. listen, you guys, you remember when we went over a bunch of pictures that I found? And you guys were like, Jay, it's been debunked. It's not Bryan that called into T-Riv. He came forward on hidden true crime. But how do we know that's the right guy? How do we know that guy's telling the truth? Is it true? People can say a lot of things. It's just a really weird call. Punani says let's do it now. I don't have it ready now. But listen, remember when I was showing you guys the picture and I said that's Bryan sitting at the table at the UI lounge with like two other guys and they had Bibles out. Do you remember that? And you guys were like, no. People were like, no, it's not him. He doesn't have a side part. He's got curly, thick hair. Blah, blah, blah. Do you guys remember that? Because look at this screen grab from the stop in Pullman in, what was this? October 14th. Do you see that part in that boy's hair? The cut like Officer Smith, you know, the Officer Smith cut with the freaking part. Heathen, thank you for letting me know that. T-Rev does believe it's BK. Yes, that's him at the table. Look at his part from that haircut. The Smith cut. His name is Dave. I have no idea his voice matches. The haircut. Do you guys remember that? He was sitting there and I was like, look at that slick cut. It looks like Officer Smith. And people were like, no way. Bryan Kohberger's hair is not straight. He can make it like that. That was him. And I'm going to tell you something. I have a new theory on this guy. I think that I think he hated a lot of people. I think he hated the blondes because he couldn't get one. I think he hated the cops because he couldn't be one. I think he hated military people because he couldn't make it. This guy had rejection at every corner. Then he's a TA for what, a month, and he's already on a plan of action within a month. How do you even like know people enough to be on a plan of action after a month of being a TA at a college where you just moved, you know nobody, and you're 1 month in and you're already he's a fool. That was totally him sitting at the table, right? Heather Feather, hey, I'm glad you could catch a live as well. He was wholly rolling for clout. The picture, I can't. Guys, I don't know where that damn picture is, man. I'll have to find it. I don't even remember when I did that live. I have thousands of photos on my computer of things that I find. I would have to find it again. How about this photo of Kohberger? Have you guys seen this one? Selfie on Christmas. Looks like he hasn't slept in days. Yeah, that damn picture of him sitting at UI though. And he's sitting in the frickin' main part. It's creepy. I'll have to find that. Let me make a note or I'll forget. If I only had a brain. All right, I'll find it. Nomad, puppy kitten treats or some coffee or candy. Thanks for you and all your team do. Kohberg freak case is crazy. Thank you, Nomadic Geo, for your super chat. Greatly, greatly appreciated.
Everybody does that. It's okay.
Yeah, I'll find that for you guys. We'll talk about that. Wish I could just find it, but unfortunately, I save way too much shit. And is it sad that when I scroll through my files, I can tell what time frame it is based on whose pictures I see? Like, oh, I know I'm getting to this part because this is the part where I was talking about Blaker. Like, I remember the time based on my files. Cheers to Blaker for a job well done. I can't imagine what this dude's going through, honestly. I mean, let's talk about Blaker for a second. Fuck Kohberger. Let's talk about Blaker. And the fact that Blaker was called to King Road for stupid parties, noise complaints. He was the guy that was like, hey, you know, I was a kid. I went to school here. Dump out the alcohol. This is a warning. And then Blaker was also there that day and walked around the crime scene and had to see the very same people that he'd seen in these calls dead. It's pretty deep. But yeah, I think back to Kohberger, my theory. I think that Kohberger hated blondes because he couldn't get one. Couldn't get a chick. Someone called him co-virgin. Probably true. Cops because he couldn't be one. You know, he failed at everything he did. If he didn't murder people, I would say I'd felt sorry for him. And I think we're going to find out that there was more going on with this kid than we could have ever imagined when he was a kid, you know? I just feel like there's going to be more. I feel like he's just pathetic. If that's even a word to use, I feel like he's pathetic. I don't think that was the past Christmas. No, I think that was when he was younger. Looks old. High school age. Very thin. Very thin if you go from... Where's the chubby picture? Right here. There's the Officer Smith cut. And then he gets a haircut a couple days after the murders as well. This isn't even when he was his chubbiest. Right here. That looks like that was probably after he started losing. Because he was chubbier than that. And then maybe that was during his transition phase. Because it looks like he went from this school picture to this. You think he was proven spooky? Says, I bet his mama instilled in him that he was perfect. Then when he got to the real world, he realized people think he's weird and he couldn't handle it. I don't know. I think it's really interesting that his dad flew there to come back with him. I mean, that's not weird. I'm just saying, like, where was mom? So, like, dad was, I'm going to get him involved in kickboxing. I'm going to take him to this class or that class so that he can socialize with people. It was dad, always trying. Dad turned him in for stealing his sister's phone. So where was mom, and was there no relationship between Bryan and his mom? Does he have a hatred for women as well? You know what I mean? It just seems like mom isn't a pivotal person.
La, 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 la.
I think his sisters keep it simp. I think his sisters got all the attention growing up and he became very resentful. So maybe mom was closer with the daughters and he was closer with
You're awesome.
Michael. Paige, I've wondered if he resented his sisters because they were successful and he was struggling. Maybe everything came easier for them in his eyes. You know, maybe they were able to just, you know, skate through school and they were liked. And I mean, his sisters are pretty. Bryan wasn't so lucky. Mental illness. I don't know. I bet you that the salon has something. Maybe. I mean, it was after the murders, so. So we can either think that she was super close to him or that there was no relationship there. Because, like, I'm not comparing him with Bundy, but Bundy hated women because his mom and his sister lied to him. So he was actually, Bundy was his sister's, or who he thought was his sister, was actually his mom. Did you guys know that? Thank you, Tim Bray, for your super sticker. I appreciate you. So when Bundy was born, his real mother got pregnant when she was a teenager. So the decision was made. Hey, Draw Latina in the house. What's up, Draw? So anyways, his mother made the choice to raise him as her own. And they lied to Ted about who his mom was. So that triggered him and it sparked this distrust in women. But what was really interesting about Ted Bundy is that he could actually separate that somehow in his mind and still carry on a relationship with his girlfriend. So this guy's, you hear about these double lives. You hear about them having a normal relationship or being married and raising kids. And then on the other hand, they get out of the house and they're monsters. Look at Lisk. Look at Lisk. Well, she was young. I don't know how old she was, but she was young and they lied to him. So he found out later that his sister was really his mom. And yeah. Elliot, Jay's for Justice. Do you remember when he was first arrested that there were people trying to claim that he was trans and wanted to be put in the women's side of the jail? Yes. And do you remember too, there were people saying that he was in there screaming that he was going to stick people? Dumb. Who is this MD? Can't be hard to find. WSU doctor, I bet. What MD? I'm telling you, I mean, it sounds like he had a lot of rejection. And to hear that maybe he was rejected out of that tech program as well. I wonder what life was like for him when he was in elementary school. I still think there's something, I don't know. I still feel like there's something from his childhood that is major and that we don't know. Meep. Whose mom? Bundy's mom went to her grave believing he was innocent? I bet you any money that she deep down in her heart knew he wasn't. I mean, how hard would it be to accept that your son is a serial killer? Bundy was random, but how did he know who would or wouldn't be awake in the sorority house? Confuses me with Kohberger. Cameras. That's the only way he would know where everybody was when he walked in. If he had access to cameras inside looking at 1122 King Road. Think about it. That's really the only way he would know. And then is it possible, as sick as it is, could he go home and watch it? Did he go home and turn on the cameras and watch the scene he left? Yeah, they're definitely, the doctor's not going to talk. That's definitely HIPAA violation and an active investigation. 2 negatives. There's no doctor. It's going to talk. My gosh, proving spooky. Bundy killed my aunt's best friend. Her name was Debbie. She's the one he took from a school in Bountiful, Utah. All her family has is her kneecap. That's horrible. Let me see where you guys are at with that poll. Bryan Kohberger.
Bryan Kohberger.
Well, I thank you guys for joining me tonight. I don't typically go live at this time, so there's 313 of you in here. Let's get this channel up to 100K. That is our goal, guys. I want to get to 90 first, and then I'll do something stupid. Whatever it is you guys want, you get. You want me to get drunk? I'll get drunk. You want me to go walk into the Polk County Sheriff and say hi to Grady Judd? I'll do that too. I'll do whatever your heart's desire. And as of right now, we are at 88,703. We are so close. We are so, so close. All right. So 30% of you think that that was Bryan that called into T-Revs. 31% of you say, I'm not sure. And 30% of you say yes. Showing PCA location at 9 a.m. was from what? Hearing about the crime or back looking with curiosity? Titian, was he outside looking on the next day, on the next morning? Was he inside looking and then did he turn to outside looking after the crime? I do believe inside and outside looking have something to do with him for sure. Holly Smith, don't come in here and take my words out of proportion. I didn't call him a loser. I said he faced rejection every time he turned around. That's a big difference than calling him a loser. So keep your words inside your mouth, babe. There ain't no room for them inside of mine. If anybody would like to call in, hey, if you want to call in, Holly, the phone lines are open, 727-755-6001. Holly, give me a call.
So is that a joint? Or is it a cigar?
Inside and outside looking. Hello, Shell. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, so here is, again, we're going to go over this tomorrow. At your request, we're going to listen to all the weird voices of Bryan Christopher Kohberger.
Hi, my name is Bryan. Would you be able to give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
Now I'm going legal.
If you were going to kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
Someone had stopped. I wasn't sure what they were doing. Then they put on their light to turn. Mm-hmm. So I thought that maybe they were letting me go through. Oh. Did you see that?
No.
And I'll watch those kind of things, but like when someone like in person says some stuff like that, it's kind of like jarring.
No.
Always the same thing that disrupts my life. Wonder when I'll change. I guess when the time is right.
Took that question and that idea and like took it too far. Like, oh, I'm going to prove to these guys that I'm in the club or whatever.
He looks like he's ready to throw up. He looks like the penguin in the Muppets. I slowed down the rap, so I have the whole rap without the music in the background. And I slowed it down a little bit on that clip. Thank you, Shell, for your super sticker. Greatly appreciated. But we'll go over that tomorrow. Elliot, do you remember there being a guy claiming to be Papa Rogers a couple months ago? He looked a lot like me and not like BK, though. Elliot, are you the one that called into T-Revs? Are you the guy that called into... Or not T-Revs. Yeah, T-Revs. Justice for victims. The T-Rev caller came forward. He was upset because he had told T-Rev he wasn't BK, but T-Rev continued to push it for views until he got called out. Is that true? Oh, his rap is so shitty. Pat, I love you. Okay, let's go here. All right, front and center. Look at everything's red tonight. I went red for you guys for the night stream. What long hair thing? What are you talking about, Simp? Here you go. This is for you.
Bryan Kohberger.
Bryan Kohberger's hands. Oh my God, you guys kill me. You do. You kill me. And as a... For the ones that just joined... Let's play this again. This is what we were talking about with cameras.
Bryan Kohberger looking at a string of alleged incidents all the way back to allegedly stalking some of the Idaho 4 via social, in months leading up to their murders, seeking them out online, at least one, if not more, of the girls on King Road. How did he find them? Did he somehow run into them when he was there, finding an apartment or touring campus there at WSU, Washington State University? Is that when their paths collided? Did they know they were being watched? Did they ever read his emails he sent introducing himself or trying to hook up with them?
What?
Or did it go into a spam folder? Then we have the incident where he allegedly went into a female colleague's home there at Washington State University and moved things around in her apartment, manipulating her into coming to him and saying, "Oh, my stars, guess what happened? Some freak's been in my apartment." And then he swoops in like the savior and sets up her Wi-Fi, finding out the password and security system so he can spy on her remote, even from his phone whenever he felt
Remember
like
Steve G said that he touched
what
their
kind of
Wi-Fi.
kick do you get from watching somebody else watching TV or doing the dishes or doing her hair or the Lord only knows what else he watched?
Okay, well, I have something to say about this part of it. She says, what kind of kick, would he get off of watching her do her hair or do the dishes? Y'all, millions tune into reality TV every day and watch just that. We as a society are wrecked because every day there's shows of us watching people do the most mundane things. Oh my gosh, Crime Solver, you just gave me goosebumps. Crime Solver said, swoops in like the savior. It's okay. I'm here to help you. No, there's no video of him rapping. It's just audio. So just to give you guys a little tidbit here, his name was XR Music. At the end of his rap song, he says, "Don't fuck with us, XR Music. Peace." Yep. And then the voice that DM heard, "Don't worry, I'm here to help you." Touching their Wi-Fi, what does that mean, asks Paige. Does that mean he logged in or his phone scanned Wi-Fi's in the area? I take that as it's scanned, like, you know, when you pick up your phone and you get the list of Wi-Fi connections that you could choose from, and it's one of them. I would say that would mean he was close enough to the Wi-Fi that his phone picked up their server, whatever you call it. Yeah, but it's not XR. It's XR. It's EXARR. EXARR Music. Google Bryan Kohberger EXARR XR. You'll find some shit. You will find some stuff. You might see screenshots of his old Spotify, things like that. Mark Klein, I watch Jay's dog sleep for hours. Isn't it relaxing? That's our emotional support here. Brian Hoffman, the pings I think are going to be important, but I think they're going to have more than just pings. When you have pings and you have video footage, like you have all these Ring doorbells and red light cameras and cameras on businesses. And I mean, there's cameras everywhere. So you line up those cameras with the times on the phones with the pings, and you see where all of their phones were. And I think you're going to find out that a lot of them were together. Like Bryan Kohberger's phone was with one of the victims' phones. I feel like he followed them. I feel like he knew what their patterns were. And I don't know. I really still think that Maddie was the target for him, that was what he went upstairs for. And Kaylee heard something going on. But I'm not sure. But I do think he had a lot of hatred towards a lot of different people because he was rejected so many times. And I think it just turned to anger. Titan, he met her online, Instagram, and he got into the not take no for an answer syndrome, and his stalking became serious enough to go to Moscow and continue to stalk, maybe. Could be. Maybe his phone connected to other Wi-Fis along the route. Could be. There's a lot that can be taken from digital evidence. Loaded Hot says these aren't just regular pings. They are special radar pings that will measure exactly how far he is from the tower. In the PCA, they said the ping acted like it was in Moscow, but they don't believe he was in Moscow on the morning of. Yeah, interesting, Brian. In the PCA, they said the ping acted like it was in Moscow, but that they do not believe that he was in Moscow. I'm going to have to look into that. The wording can be so tricky. You know, one or two words could change it all. Oh, maybe they have I'm on camera somewhere else. Do you guys think that any of the victims' phones were missing? Can you have a locked Wi-Fi and different devices scan Wi-Fi in the area, and maybe your Wi-Fi keeps a log of the VPNs that scanned your Wi-Fi? Maybe. I'm not sure. Queen of Hearts says, I think they met at the pool party he went to when he first moved there. I want to know whose pool party that was. Elliot says, Jay, if you go to Google right now and type in location history, you can see a date and time in the past 10 years, and it'll show you exactly where you were for how long, etc. Titian says, unless the alibi just blows a whole new picture, then BK is toast. Why isn't this used? It might be used by the prosecution. We don't know what the prosecution's going to use. Right. Prime Paula says there could be a bigger radius with the pings in the cell towers. But if they have camera matching up, like, okay, dude, you pinged. You could have been 5 miles over here. But guess what? We have you going past this business at, X amount of time. K123 wants to know, why didn't the roommates call sooner? Any ideas? One idea comes to mind. BTK, bind, torture, kill. I don't know. That's one idea. Being scared. That's another one. Okay, here it is. Brian Hoffman, thank you. Investigation found that the 8458 phone did connect to a cell phone tower that provides service to Moscow on November 14th, but investigators do not believe the 8458 phone was in Moscow. I don't know. Brian Meyer, I bet you they do have cameras at his apartment. Those were student apartments. I bet you they do. Paula says yes, they do. Cast will be way more accurate. I'm really hoping, we get to see this evidence and that this doesn't get any delays. Well, Paige, I think the phone experts, that was pretty mind-blowing in the Murdaugh trial, just to find out that even the landscape of your phone, how you hold it, is stored. I go like this, and then I go like this to read something. My phone knows that. So I'm pretty sure that there's a lot that we don't know that they have. And it seems like Bryan Kohberger wants them to bullet point it for them and make it easy so that he knows exactly what avenue they're taking. And they're not letting him know. They may not even use those stupid pings. And that seems like that was fluff to me, maybe. Maybe that was put in the PCA as fluff, because there was a lot of info in the PCA from what we're hearing from all the experts, is that there was more in that PCA than they even needed to put in there for an arrest. So they went even above and beyond. So maybe that was part of the prosecution's way of tricking Kohberger into thinking that their investigation is going to focus on pings, which is what he wanted to teach Pullman all about. He wanted to assist rural law enforcement officers with how to use this equipment and body-worn camera and use their digital stuff.
Roro calls him Pawpaw.
Roro? Who was Roro?
Roro calls.
Shell, can you help Nomad with the member link? I just never thought about, what does your smart TV hold? But they have a fire stick from him. What can you do with a fire stick? Chris Watts did something with a fire stick too. What's the big... Does it have storage? Can you store pictures on a fire stick? What does it do? I know you watch TV on it, but does it store as well? Just wondering why they would want that. Or what it could possibly hold. I've never used one, so. Your phone knows a lot, Jammers. Good night, Punani. You can toss it around like Einen. I know. I'm getting ready to go to bed too. Oh, okay. Nomadic, if you go to the home page, actually, let me see if I can share it. Become a Roberter today and have access to members only chat. Welcome. Oh my God. Hold on. Become a Roberter today and have access to members only chat. Welcome to the No Clue Zone, where we go live for 6 hours and talk gibberish. Videos and these cool emojis. Wait, I'm trying to get the link for you. And it played the video. I forgot I had that video on there. It's hilarious. Yeah, underneath. Okay, if you're on the video, underneath where it says J is for Justice and like the like and the like button, it says join right next to the like button. But like or just, they have to conduct an investigation, right? "24 hours before they kicked in the door on 12/29, this cop flat out came out and told judge she's very concerned about the garbage DNA being tossed. But they don't need the garbage DNA any longer because they swabbed Kohberger's cheek after his arrest. It's just a test. But they got his DNA on the cheek swab and they ended up matching it. So the family DNA is a moot point in my opinion, because they have his DNA and matched it. Should I go back to blue lights? It's a blue light special. Remember Kmart? There's blue, red, yellow, green. Green's bad. I like the blue. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go over these voices of Bryan Kohberger and see what we think, because we can. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for everything. And thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. And make sure you hit that like button and comment below, replayers. See you guys tomorrow. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, 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 damn. You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. I ain't got time.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.